Which is, I know everybody wants to ask, the crutches, I broke my ankle in the Everglades, right in the middle. Couldn't have been, and I know it wasn't at the Swamp Fest, for those of you who know, lucky cool. Oh, can we see one of the photo books? We're selling these things, they're, I don't mean to, product placement. Well, okay, I'm a whore. It is. This is a photo book of the real locations. These are the photos I take on the research trips before I start writing, and so and it mentions what book it's in and the address and where it's located. I want to show you the one. This is from Electric Barracuda. This is my friend down in the, he's like an Everglades legend, Lucky Cole, and this is his porch. He's got. I mean, he really is larger than life down there. Everybody knows it, but it's like, there's Alligator Alley, then there's, the Tamiami Trail, and then below that, if you go, you take this like really unmaintained dirt road that you can't even pass most of the year except for the dry season. And here he is on his porch with his potbelly stove and his gun rack. You can see that.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's got this huge piece of land, and what we do is we have a, we've done it twice now because people kept coming by, and well, mainly it's like hardcore bird watchers because it's really tough road to get down and it's really unmaintained and there's nothing out there. As a matter of fact, it's kind of a spooky area. Locals. One local told me, because I grew up in the Everglades. I won't go down there. It's too. I go, why? And he goes, it's just like like the hills have eyes. Just that hair in the back. And in National Geographic in 1976, they were talking about it, and the reporter went out there and he got shot at. And my car was hit with my friend. I was out there. I went too late. It was like the sun had already set, and my friend he was in the passenger seat, and he saw. He told me later that as we were going by, he saw through this clearing these two guys like way back in the woods with rifles, but we didn't hear any gunpowder. We just heard pellets hit the car. But and then we have the Swamp Festival out there each year, which is a huge, great party. So yeah, don't worry about what I just said. Just come on down. We have a great time. But new reader of it down there. So anyway, so Lucky, we just as a goof, because he said people and a lot of bikers, well, even among them, because it really is hard to find an unknown, but one of the best compliments are people are going around trying to find the places in the books. And so he says people are coming out there and they're, they pull up and they look in the gate and they come in and they say, Lucky Cole, is this, et cetera. And he says, so I want, he wants to set up, because he sells antiques and various things. And so now, and I went back there after the Swamp Fest this year. The first year, we just did it as a goof. We figured a few people would show up, and because it's like the most remote place you could possibly put someplace. And it was like 200 people showed up. I mean, we were just like, gee, we were just overwhelmed. We ran out of everything. And so this past year, we had like 450, and we had over like 200 motorcycles inside the gate. And the cars are parked out in the street. And it was actually over the course of the whole day. The place can't hold 200, but it was huge. And so he said, people are coming by, and so he wanted to set up Serge's store. I have one on my website, so he was going to have one and sell along the antiques, because he said people are coming in, and he's got, next to other things he's selling, he has a row of books that I have signed personally to him over the years. And so people are trying to buy those books. They think they're for sale. So he says, I need to be able to sell books. And I'm like, you really think people are going to come out? Like, well, look what happened with the festival. We didn't think they'd come out for that. And so anyway, I went back out there, and he says, Tim, as I'm laying in the dirt, he says, we're going to have to sex this story up, because basically it was after dark, and of course, my yard is just St. Augustine grass, but he lives out in the Everglades, and so I was trotting back and forth with bins of junk, to fill his store and everything, and I stepped in this hole, and so I ended up getting stuck. He has a trailer on his property. Due to logistics, it's a long story, but I ended up hanging out and staying with him for 3 days, until I could get, a ride out of there, because I could not have been any worse, positioned out there. And like on the second day, I'm in the trailer, just with ice pack and everything, and there's a knock on the door, and it's Lucky, and he goes, Tim, you busy? And I go, no, I'm bored out of my mind. And he goes, okay, and he opens the door, and he goes, yeah, these two guys would like to get books signed. It's like, if ever I have to go on the run, I'm not going to be able to do it. I am way out in like Nowheresville, And Lucky said, yeah, they pulled up, they came up to the gate, you know, and they came in, like, is this Lucky Colt, whatever, and so they, we had set before I busted my ankle, we had set the store up, or at least I had gotten him the inventory, he put it up, and so they came in and they bought a couple books from him. And they said, did Tim Dorsey ever really come out here? And they said, yeah, he's stuck in that trailer on the other corner of the property with a busted ankle. And they're like, yeah, right. And he goes, come on, let's go. And he walked up and opened the door. And so I kind of scooted over, duck walked, and I sat on the front step and I signed the books and took pictures with him. Bye. And then went back in the trailer. So that's a story, but it's a bad story. So what we did is we went and did a storyboard on Facebook where I took... basically, he was in a previous book, and he's going to be in an upcoming book. So what I said was that Lucky, you know, he thought that his part in the upcoming book was too small, and he wanted to discuss it, you know, some more about enlarging his part. And I said, well, I had to think about it if I really had to be going. And he said, no, I really want to, you know, really want you to stay and discuss changing and enlarging the part. And I said, I got to be going. So anyway, so then we took we took a picture of his head and put it in a Kathy Bates's body with you know, in misery. We put that up there. So that's the story.